So if you're constantly feeling behind, anxious, jealous, like money and opportunities just find everybody else but you, I'm sorry, but you are lacking an abundance mindset. The world is not out to get you. You are simply looking at everything through a lens of scarcity. Hello, you're welcome back to the Becoming with Irama Dadson, and I'm glad you're here. Yet another video with me. Today, I am going to be telling you how to develop an abundance mindset. If you've been following my videos all this while, you know that I'm really passionate about the abundance mindset, because honestly, having an abundance mindset will set you up for success full time. So an abundance mindset is just simply believing that there is more than enough for everybody to have more than enough, for there to still be more than enough left over. Now today I'm going to give you the 7 anchors of the abundance mindset. If you implement all of these into your life, congratulations, you have an abundance mindset. So let's get straight into it. So the very first point, the very first anchor of the abundance mindset is you have to watch your thoughts and watch your language. Oh me, I can't afford that. Oh me, that works for everybody but me. Oh me, that just doesn't happen for me. Oh me, no. Somebody with an abundance mindset sees that opportunities and the very best that life has to offer belongs to them as well. That if person A can have it, I sure as hell can have it too. That is what the abundance mindset conditions you to believe. You genuinely feel like there is nothing you cannot afford, because if somebody's out there and a person afforded that, you can afford it too. If somebody's out there and a person got that opportunity, you can get that opportunity too. So the abundance mindset would help you see and think from a place of, this is possible for that person, that is absolutely possible for me too. Because the type of things you think are available to you will just continue to condition your mind to look for those type of things. So if you think certain opportunities are too good to be true and you cannot have them, everybody else can have them, but you cannot have them, your mind is just going to keep proving to you that you indeed cannot have that. So watch your thoughts, watch your language. The second anchor is to celebrate other people's wins. This one I particularly had a really hard time with when I was building my abundance mindset. Because growing up, I'd always been a really competitive child. I always wanted to be first in class. I wanted to be first. You see, our system was such that the positions, they would find the positions of all the students in every subject. Like maybe math, who was first, English, who was first. So my goal was to be first in all the subjects and then be the overall first person in the class. Like I was just striving for first. And you know, the first position, only one person can be first. I was so competitive that somebody came from Togo, and so she automatically knew how to speak French as a first language, like how I could speak English like my first language. And I wanted to be first. I didn't want her to be first. So I got my parents to get me a French teacher just so I could beat her. Now I'm telling you this story so you see how strong my competitive nature is to be. Now this was great. Being a child, you're competitive, it pushes you to want more, great, right? But I also taught my mind that there was just not enough for everybody. Like there was only one position and I had to strive to get it. And if I didn't strive to get it, another person would get it, and then that would mean I wouldn't have it. That was scarcity conditioning right there. So growing up, whenever somebody won at something, whether I wanted it or not, I just felt this tinge of, wow, they have that, so I can't have that too. Wrong. That was scarcity. So when you are conditioning your mind for abundance, you need to teach yourself to believe that somebody having it doesn't take away your ability to have it too, right? So to condition myself, whenever I saw somebody having something, I'm like, oh, this is beautiful. Instead of me thinking, wow, they have it, I can't have this anymore, I think to myself, I love that for them. And the more I told myself, wow, she has this, I love that for her, my brain was now learning that somebody having it doesn't mean I don't get to have it too. I can be happy for them and it has nothing to do with me. And I make sure I do not make it about me. I don't think, oh, I love that for her, but when will it be me? No. The only thing an abundance person will take from somebody else's win is, they have that, I can have it too. So you can take my thing. When you see somebody winning at something and you want to celebrate the person, you can just say, I love that for you. I absolutely love that for you. And you can mean it from your heart, because eventually with time, your brain would learn that somebody else's wins doesn't take away from yours. You celebrating somebody's wins, you being happy for another person, doesn't mean you don't get to have it too. The third anchor of abundance is to focus on creating value. Scarcity mindset is always looking to get. What am I going to receive? What can I get if I do this? What can I get from this? What is this going to bring me? An abundance person is always thinking, what can I give? How can I provide some value? How can I give something for myself to this person? Giving your time, giving your money, giving yourself, your resources, your beliefs, your ideologies does not mean there's less for you. It actually means there is more for you. If somebody has a problem, the person comes to you because they believe you have a solution, and you decide to gatekeep the information because you feel like, oh, if I share, there will be less space for me. That is not how an abundance person thinks. An abundance person believes sharing brings you more. When we were in school, when you're about to write an exam and your friend doesn't understand a particular concept, and it comes to you, he comes to you because he or she feels like, oh, this person definitely understands the concept, right? And you know the concept, but you decide, nah, I'm not going to share, because if I share, they will know and they will pass. That doesn't help anybody. You might even forget when you get to the example. But then if you share with somebody, you are giving your brain the revision your brain needs. You explaining it to somebody helps you understand the concept far better than if you just kept it to yourself. That is a perfect example of how abundance, thinking from a place of abundance and giving freely, gives you more. So the more you focus on creating value in other people's lives and not only yours, you are thinking from a place of abundance. You are being an abundant person. You're sharing your resources. You're sharing your knowledge. You're sharing your time. And that is how an abundant person behaves. So give freely. Ask yourself, what can I give more than what can I get? So the fourth anchor of abundance is to invest in yourself and spend freely. Money is an infinite resource. There are millions, billions, there's an infinite amount of money on this planet. There's a lot of money. There is more than enough to go around, way more than enough. You do not need to be scared to spend money, because if you use money, you're afraid it won't come back to you. Whenever you use money, you need to look at it from an angle of, there is more where that came from. So I use money freely. I buy something I need freely. I invest in myself. I spend on myself. I spend on my loved ones freely, because I believe money will always come back. And honestly, when you start looking at it from that angle, money will always come back. Stop looking at it like, oh, I only have one outlet, and if I'm afraid that if I let it go, it won't come back. Because there are infinite amounts of ways to receive money. You could see money lying on the floor. Like, there's just so many different ways money can come back to you. But you are not opening yourself up to the infinite number of ways, because you are so skewed, focused on the one expected way you know money can come to you. You should be open to receiving unexpected amounts of money. So if you truly believe money can come from anywhere, you spend on yourself freely, you invest in yourself freely, you spend on people you love freely. Not to say you should spend anyhow, spend in a way that is not wise. Be financially literate. But as you are giving money out, you're using money for things that you need to better your life. You should think of it from a place of circulation and not losing, because it will always come back to you. Money is an energy, and it will always come back to you if you give it from a place of, I know you're going to come back. I used to suffer from that a lot. I used to be so scared of using money because I was scared what if it didn't come back. And then I started cultivating this belief that whenever I used money, it had to come back to me times 10. Whether I saw proof of it or not, whenever I used money, I'll tell myself, this money comes back 10 times. Every single time I use money, I'll tell myself that belief. Eventually, I changed my mind to stop being so scared of using money. I changed my mind to use money freely, because I always believed it will find a way to come back to me. The fifth anchor of abundance is to focus on what you have and be grateful. The easiest way to start hating your life is to consistently focus on what you do not have. Consistently focus on every single thing you could have by now, but you do not have. And be whining and I hate my life, I don't like this, I hate all of this. No, that is a scarcity mindset. When you focus on all you have and you revel in the feeling of, I'm so grateful, I have this, I have life, I have shelter, I have a place to lay my head, I have food to eat, I have water. When you focus on all these things, you train your mind to notice all the good things you have. It just makes you a happier person. It just makes you a more grateful person. And gratitude opens doors for more things. because you're now focused on all you have that is in abundance. That helps you vibrate at the frequency of abundance. So now better things will keep gravitating towards you because you are seeing things in an abundant light. But if you focus on everything you do not have and you're whining, you're moping, that is all you're going to keep noticing. Every single thing you do not have. And you're training your brains to only see lack. And if you're training your brain for lack, abundance will be nowhere near you and you're going to keep living in lack. But then if you keep being grateful, you focus, you shift your focus on everything you do have and everything you are grateful for, you are now vibrating energetically at the same frequency with abundance. And now, abundance will flow into your life freely, easily. And that is how an abundant person thinks. The sixth anchor of abundance is to stop comparing timelines. Somebody's chapter 20 is not your chapter 1. You cannot sit in your house and look at the timeline and then compare it to yours when you have no idea where the person started from, what the person had to go through. You are beginning. If you focus on your own timeline, it will help you move you closer to your dreams than comparing yourself to another person's timeline. That doesn't help anybody. It just makes you feel bad about yourself. It just paralyzes you and keeps you in a place of, this is not even worth it. Why should I even try? When you're comparing your chapter 1 to somebody's chapter 20, even if you're comparing your chapter 1 to somebody's chapter 1 and you think the person's chapter 1 is much better, you are not that person. The path carved out by God for your life is completely different from that person's path. God has ordained that you go through certain things to take you to a particular place he has already prepared for you. And that person is not going to the same place. You are in competition with nobody. You are in lanes with nobody. It's just you on your race. And the only thing you have to do to win this race is to finish. So there's no point comparing your timeline to somebody else's because they are not running your race. Your race is for you alone. You can be on your path and you can be great at it, and I'll also be on my path and be great at it, and I'm not comparing. I love that for you. I'm happy for me. That is how an abundant person thinks. Stop comparing timelines. Now, the seventh and last anchor of abundance is to think in decades and not in days. An abundant person believes in planting seeds. An abundant person believes in trying, being consistent, and going at it, whether they see results or not. Not to say an abundant person isn't goal-oriented or result-oriented. All I'm saying is an abundant person knows that every single rep they put in, every single action they put in, every single step they take, every single piece of content they put out there, every single CD or dollar they invest is a seed that is going to bloom eventually. An abundant person lives off of the principle of sowing and reaping. If you want to reap a bountiful harvest, you need to sow the seeds. And maybe in the first few years, in the first few months, years even, you don't see any results. But you keep watching and you keep tending to your seed because you know that eventually it's going to produce a bountiful harvest. That is what an abundant person does. Because if you eat all your seeds right now, when it's harvest time, you're going to have nothing to harvest. You're supposed to keep working at it, whether you see it growing or not, whether you see movements or not. You keep posting content and then 2 people like the content. Only 2 people. So you decide, you know what, I'm not going to do this anymore. That is not how an abundance person goes. An abundance person will show up every single week, talk to the invisible million subscribers they do not have, because they believe and they think in decades and not days. You should not be scared to be consistent, whether you see results or not. When you see results, that is great because you believe you're always going to see results anyways. But even when you are not seeing results, that is not your sign to give up. If anything, that's your sign to keep pushing. That is your sign to keep trying and going harder at it and think in decades, because you know that if you continue at the pace you're already at, in 5 years time, in 10 years time, you'll be so grateful, you'll be so glad you did, you'll be proud of what you've done for yourself. But if after 1 month you saw no improvement and you decided, nah, this is not working for me, I give up, you will not have received the harvest. So think in decades and not in days. So I hope these 7 anchors spoke to you. I hope you're going to start implementing them in your life, because it's going to be life-changing for you. The best things, one of the best things you can do for yourself is to develop an abundance mindset. An abundance mindset will push you to believe that opportunities exist, that there is more out there for you. And if somebody has it, you can have it too. And you may even have it better. And not to give up when things are rough. An abundance mindset will push you to heights you didn't even think existed. So you should work on this. You should invest enough time in building an abundance mindset. I'm glad you joined me. I'm glad you were here today, and I'm glad you've come this far in the video. Hope you liked everything we shared. You can share with me everything I said that resonated that you're going to implement. I would love to hear from you. And I'll see you next time in my next video. Thank you for being here. Bye.